middleweight champ with us right now, Israel Adesanya, joining us, looking good in your robe. Izzy, we're playing a quick rapid-fire game. Our next question was better trash talker, you or Nate Diaz? Who would you say? Who's a better trash talker, you or Nate?
I don't really speak trash. I just like to say it like it is, and I'm speaking of trash, which is Marvin Vettori.
That was a fine answer. I would expect nothing less from you. Speaking of trash or whatever you were talking yesterday in the press conference, it got heated. It was very entertaining. Did you anticipate it reaching that level of excitement, so to speak?
Yes, I knew he was going to try and fugazi everybody and pretend like he's calm, but I knew I could entice that reaction out of him, and I did. You saw me, I didn't even get up when he stood up because I knew it wasn't a threat. And I had some trash on me, so I threw it at the trash, and he got even madder. So, yeah, it was all fun and games for me.
We had Marvin on actually just a few minutes ago, and his quote that really stood out to me, he said he wants to look through your soul and eat you alive.
The fuck does that even mean?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question.
Cannibalism.
Where do you get that from, Mordor?
Mordor. Do you feel like he's the same fighter that you faced last time?
Emotionally, yes. Physically, like I said, his wrestling just changed up a bit, but I've said this already. I haven't put it on Twitter. You can see the stats. You can see the record of who he's fought and who I've fought since we last fought at 185. So, yeah, there's a vast difference. There's a vast difference in skills. There's a vast difference in opponents, in ranked opponents. He couldn't even give me 3 top 10 opponents he's fought. So, I mean, there's levels to this shit. I say this all the time, but I'm really going to prove it tomorrow that there's levels to this.
Champ, we talked in the fighter meetings about strength and that a lot of people and yourself, you know, you moved up to 205 and you had a bigger guy that you had to deal with. But moving back down to middleweight, you talked about it wasn't really strength that you felt you needed to focus on. More importantly, you focused on your breathing, you focused on your mental state. And I found it so interesting, and I was just hoping that you could expand on that for the rest of us that weren't able to hear that, especially the breath training that you focused on this camp.
I wasn't hoping I'd have to, because that was a little secret meeting between us.
Oh, my bad.
But, you know, I mean, like, just put it this way. In about a year, people will start doing what we're doing right now. And that's just, you know, focusing on, you know, how you breathe, not just breathing for the sake of breathing. Just put it this way. Watch him by halfway through the first round or at the end of the first round. He's going to be mouth breathing. And you'll see me nasal breathing. In, out, fresh air. Sorry.
Interesting, and I'm sorry, Izzy, I didn't mean to throw that out there if you wanted to keep that between us, but I think you just explained just enough, right, on how important that is, especially in this kind of a suffocating type of situation like fighting is. But also, I wanted to ask you about the perfect fight, right, or more in particular, the perfect fight with Marvin, because we talked about how you've been disappointed in performances before, and not that you thought you lost those performances, but they didn't live up to what you expected. What does that perfect performance look like against Marvin Vettori?
So I'll explain. I mean, he says, you look at his demeanor after we fought, you know, he knew he lost that fight. I mean, okay, let me explain to you. My UFC debut, UFC 221, I knocked a guy out in the second round, and what did I do straight after the fight? Because I knew what I was better. I knew what I could do. My second fight against him, I styled on him, and even at the end of the fight, just because he kept me down for a little bit, I was like, man. It wasn't until the Brad Tavares fight that I was really like, right, I'm satisfied with this win. I showed you guys what I could do. So tomorrow, the finish will come, but I'm going for 5-0. I've said that all week. I'm going for 5-0 because I want him to realize from belt to belt that he's going to be in hell.
You said just a minute ago that you feel like he is, at least emotionally, the same fighter he was the first time you guys fought. Do you feel like that you can use that to your advantage? And was all the antics at the press conference evidence of that?
Exactly. I'm already in his head. I own his head. I bought a lot of real estate all around New Zealand, and I got the prime real estate right now in Arizona in Marvin's head, that blockhead of his.
I feel like you kind of had the same approach when you fought Paulo Costa. How satisfying will it be to get, a similar type of finish, or as you say, go 5-0?
It'll be very satisfying. He can't help himself, and he can try, but it's by tomorrow. You have till tomorrow to change who you are as a person. But unfortunately, he's a fuckboy, so he's not going to be able to do that.
Izzy, my man, you two have a very genuine disdain for each other. He said that he doesn't like you because he said that you're fake, and you obviously don't like him. Why is it that you don't like him?
Why don't I like Marvin Vettori? It's hard to ask me that now because I don't really, there's nothing personal. It's just business as usual. But I know it's him. He's saying I'm fake. I'm like, all right, I mean, whatever helps you sleep at night.
All right, I'm going to
Just don't drink no wine.
I'm going to switch gears a little bit here and talk about your team, because you talked about, having these breathing techniques and you guys just doing things that no one else is doing. I want you to, if you can elaborate on that. Like, you guys are a small team coming all the way from New Zealand, and just within the last couple of years, you guys had this amazing, surge of, between you and Dan Hooker and Brad Riddell. What is it about you guys that make you guys different?
Honestly, I think it's just the leadership we have and the team we have. You see a lot of these guys, they lose one fight, lose another fight, and then jump to another gym. They jump to another gym even when they're going good, or they change their training partners, their sparring partners, all that. Like, the team that got me here from the start is the same team that's keeping me going. We've brought a few new people in to enhance things, but the core of the team is the same, and I think it's honestly, sounds kind of cheesy, but it's just the love for the game. It's love for each other and love for what we do. So it's love that's keeping us going, and it's love that got us to where we are right now.
Izzy, it seems like these weight cuts are almost easy for you, yet you waited, more than an hour to come out. Why is that? Is that kind of your routine?
I woke up late.
Slept in a little bit. All right, we're going to let you go. There's a game that we play here. It's kind of a takeoff on that game.
Rapid fire?
Not rapid fire. This is one that's kind of where it's blank, marry, kill. Only we call it ghost, fight, quarantine. Okay? So ghosting is somebody you want nothing to do with. Fighting, obviously, you're going to fight him.
Yep,
and quarantine is somebody that you're going to have to hang with for a little while. All right? I'm going to give you 3 names. Right. You're going to tell me whether you want to ghost, fight, or quarantine these guys. All right? Darren Till, Paulo Costa, or Robert Whitaker. Those 3 guys. Ghost, fight, quarantine.
All right. Ghost, fight, quarantine. Well, Paulo already ghosted after well, he's due this week, put it that way. So it ain't me. It ain't mine. So that's ghosted. Deadbeat dad. Wow. Quarantine. Darren Till. I think I would get along. Like Step Brothers, that movie. And obviously, I'd like to fight Whitaker next, but I'm focused on Mordor this weekend.
Mordor. Izzy, thanks, man. You are always thoroughly entertaining. We really appreciate your time. Good luck tomorrow. We will be there. We will be watching, my friend.
L'chaim. Cheers. Appreciate it.